Welcome to today's very special debate. Our topic is the system of value, SoV, a proposed universal currency tied to real production. To my left is Professor V, representing the SoV, and to my right is Dr. Carter, representing Neoclassical economics. Dr. Carter, please start us off.
Professor V, Neoclassical economics is built on the idea that markets allocate resources efficiently when prices are free to adjust. Money is simply a medium of exchange. As long as markets clear, it doesn't matter how money is created. Your SoV system imposes strict rules on money creation. Isn't that unnecessary interference in a system that already works?
It would work if money were neutral, but it isn't. When money is created through debt, speculation, or political discretion, it distorts prices, incentives, and resource allocation. SoV removes those distortions by tying money creation directly to real production. Prices then reflect actual scarcity and actual value, not financial manipulation.
Money may cause short-run distortions, but in the long run it's neutral. Output is determined by technology and resources, not by the money supply. So why redesign the entire monetary system?
Because the long run is a theoretical construct. In the real world, monetary distortions accumulate, asset bubbles form, debt piles up, trade imbalances persist. Currency manipulation creates artificial comparative advantages. These are not short-run blips. They shape decades of economic outcomes. SoV eliminates the root cause by grounding money in physical production.
Neoclassical growth theory shows that investment drives long-term growth. Investment requires savings, and savings come from households choosing to defer consumption. If money is created only when primary goods are produced, how do you generate enough savings to fund large-scale investment?
Through the multi-year reservoir. When society produces more than it consumes, the surplus is stored as real goods. That stored value becomes a capital pool. Investment is funded by real savings, not by credit expansion. You get growth driven by productivity, not leverage. No bubbles, no credit crunches, no systemic collapses.
Credit markets allow intertemporal exchange. They let future income be used today. Without credit, young firms can't invest, students can't borrow for education, and households can't smooth consumption. SoV seems to eliminate credit entirely.
It eliminates debt-based money creation, not credit itself. Under SoV, credit is backed by real store value, the reservoir, not by promises. Lending still exists, but it's honest lending. You can't lend what doesn't exist. You can't create money through leverage. You can't inflate asset prices through speculation. Credit becomes a tool for real investment, not financial engineering.
Prices communicate information. If money supply is tied to production, won't that distort price signals? For example, if agricultural output drops, money creation drops. Doesn't that amplify volatility?
No, it dampens it. The reservoir absorbs short-term fluctuations. If production drops, the system draws from store value. Liquidity remains stable. Prices reflect real scarcity, not panic. Under fiat systems, a drought triggers speculation, price spikes, and inflation. Under SoV, it triggers a transparent signal. We are drawing from reserves. Adjust production accordingly. That's not distortion, that's clarity.
Neoclassical theory shows that free trade maximizes global welfare, but a universal currency removes exchange rates, which are essential for adjusting to productivity differences. Without exchange rates, how do countries maintain competitiveness?
Exchange rates don't reflect productivity. They reflect monetary policy, speculation, and political power. Under SoV, competitiveness comes from real efficiency, not currency manipulation. A day of human effort is valued the same everywhere. Trade becomes genuinely fair. Comparative advantage becomes real, not engineered.
You're arguing that many of the market forces we model, interest rates, exchange rates, credit cycles, are actually artifacts of the monetary system, not natural features of markets.
Exactly. We treat distortions as if they're fundamental. SoV removes them. It reveals the underlying economy, the real economy, without the noise of monetary manipulation.
I have to admit, I approached this debate assuming SoV was rigid and anti-market. But the more I push, the more I see that it actually restores market logic. Prices reflect real scarcity. Investment reflects real savings. Trade reflects real productivity. And the system stabilizes itself through real resources, not central bank intervention.
That's the goal. Not to replace markets, but to give them a foundation that isn't distorted by arbitrary money creation.
Then I think I'm convinced. SoV is an anti-market. It's the most market-consistent monetary system I've seen. I'm switching sides.
Well, that's a rare moment, a neoclassical economist genuinely persuaded by the logic of SoV. Thank you both for an extraordinary debate, and big thanks to our audience. I strongly recommend that you watch Part 1, and especially Part 2 of the Universal Currency videos, to learn more about the SoV. See you in the next debate.